Welcome back. The jet dryers now on the racetrack, blowing off some of the debris and some of the speedy dry that they have put down after the big one happened on lap 12 of this race. For more on what has taken place, let's go back to pit road and Wendy Benarini.
Well, Justin Allgaier, who's third in points coming into this event, has been on pit road 4 or 5 times. He's about to come back down for a 6th time, and he does have a hole in the radiator with a small leak. Now, they put some stop leak in that. They keep adding some water. Jim Poland keeps reminding the crew, nice, smooth movements, trying to take advantage of this long caution that we have. They will come down this next time around, make some final adjustments to that radiator, try and get some more stop leak and some more water in there, and hopefully salvage this race and be able to finish on the lead lap. Ray?
Oh, Wendy, I want to talk a little bit about Chrissy Wallace. She came in here with her dad, Mike's entire Nationwide Series team. Bruce Cook is calling the shots for her tonight on the box, and her dad, Mike, up top spotting. And he told her on the radio, did a really good job. You almost missed the entire thing, but she got a little bit of damage on the left rear of that number 18 car. So they came in. She's had 2 pit stops to try to repair that damage and make sure the spoiler's in good shape. They're telling her the car is good to go. She'll restart 28th. Jim?
And Ray, Bobby Gerhart started 4th, where you would expect him on a super speedway in ARCA RE Series competition, but he was losing ground, and actually was mid-pack, and the team decided to bring him down pit road. They determined that the air box in the front of the car was losing air. It was not sealed around the radiator, so they thought maybe that was the issue. So they came down, changed left side tires the first time down, took a look at the air box and topped them off on fuel again. His crew chief and brother, Billy Gerhart, said maybe just one more stop for rights and we're good to go. Let's go back to Wendy.
And the 51 is back down pit road again. They too had damage from that earlier wreck, and several times they've come down pit road. Lap 14 was one of the first times they took 4 tires fuel, and now they just continue to make adjustments on the car, pull the fenders away and fix the damage that they have on the 51. A lot of guys just trying to salvage their race cars and get back out there and track some laps.
So again, a tire blowing up on the 25 of Brian Scott is what started this mess.
Let's take another look at Brian Scott's tire going down left of your screen. You see the tire go down, slides up the racetrack, catches Kim Butler, the 3rd. A lot of other cars involved in this incident with absolutely nowhere to go.
And it wasn't so long ago. As a matter of fact, within the hour just before this, there was a Sprint Cup practice that was taking place on the racetrack, and a similar situation happened. You saw it here on speed. It was Dale Earnhardt Jr. who had a right rear tire blowout, and similar circumstances to the cars behind him.
Here we
look at that.
See David Gillen, the 38 involved. Casey Kane had to go to a backup car right there. Casey just got a piece of that with the right front corner. They were going to go to a backup car, but absolutely no warning, and a bad day for Junior. Watch this now from this onboard camera. You heard that, and that was from a different onboard camera that you heard that tire explode. There's Dale Jr.'s Mountain Dew number 88 right there.
the ARCA series with the Hoosier tires or the Nextel Cup series with the Goodyear tires, they're all built out of rubber.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, just like, you know, going down the interstate, you can puncture them.
You're actually in the Sprint Cup series now, Kenny. Nextel was before.
Yeah, Sprint Cup. I didn't say Winston Cup, so I thought I was doing real good. I haven't been here all year, Phil.
One more time around, and we're going to see the green flag to get back underway. We've completed 22 of the 94 laps. We talked a little bit about Junior's incident. He's had a tough weekend already. Now, Trackside Live, you can hear from Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Gordon. They will be the guests, and that will come up after this ARCA race this evening. Dale Jr. had an engine go earlier this weekend. Now the tire going, so they're in a backup car with a backup motor. I'm sure they'll have all that whole story on Trackside Live this evening.
Dale Jr. and Brian Silas need to go bond after this.
Ray Dunlap.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the leader, Tom Hessert. He is talking to his crew chief, Dave Liner, on the radio and said, give me an idea what our new plan is. See, with all of these caution laps, it's actually extended the window of what you could do on pit road. And what Dave told him, he said, we'd like to come to pit road somewhere after lap 50, but we can go from 50 to 60. Now, obviously, they're not going to do that under green, but if we get a yellow in that area, that's where they feel comfortable that they'd be able to put right side tires on that #1 car and make it the distance the rest of the race. Jim?
And Ray, they've communicated, has race leader Tom Hessert's team, with Ricky Stenhouse sitting second in another Ford. Hessert has asked, and the team has asked, when we pit, can you come with us? We want to pit together if possible. If it plays out that way, the two leaders now playing together for what could be a pit stop together.
And they would dearly love for that pit stop to come under caution. They really don't want to have to stay out on this racetrack because we have some cars that just now pitted on lap 21 or 22. That means they can go 20 laps farther than these guys can when they start coming down pit road. So there's a huge window, Kenny, where they're very vulnerable, the guys that have not been to pit road yet.
They'd love to see about 25 more laps on the yellow flag.
We've got to pay attention to the 32 of James Busher on this restart. He's actually scored back in 6th. We don't believe he has second gear. Green flag back in the air. We're back underway. James Busher's going to go to the inside.
That's a good veteran move from a guy that's the first time running a super speedway. He moved over. He knew he had a problem. If he stayed on the outside line, not only was he going to mess everyone else up, he could have caused another incident. Good move by James Busher.
Tom Hesser, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Scott Speed, Ricky Carmichael, Justin Marks. They're your top 5, and they've broken away now from the field, but wait a few seconds and the field will catch them.
Yeah, it looked like that time they were a little more spread out on the start, so we might get a couple packs here. We'll just have to see what happens. But if they stay in line, that second pack will run down that first pack.
Here's your lead pack, 5 cars running nose to tail, then the next 4 cars.
Boy, Ricky Carmichael has done a nice job so far. Right now he currently resides in the 4th spot. See him right. This is actually a battle. There's James Busher, the 32 on the outside of the 46 of Matt Carter. There's a team Glock, number 37 of Dexter Bean, along with Jeremy Clements. That's mid-pack. But Ricky Carmichael's been in that lead draft, Kenny, since the drop of the green flag. There he is right there, right behind Scott Speed, right in front behind Justin Marks, doing a great job right down there, Wendy.
Yeah, Ricky Carmichael in his first race for Kevin Harvick Incorporated. Now, Kevin Harvick said Ricky knows how to race. He just needs to gain some experience, get some laps, learn about drafting. And since this race has started, Ricky Carmichael has said, I'm not going to be a hero here. I'm just going to try and get some experience, stay in line until the end. He says the car sucks up a lot better than he thought it would. And man, they are just buying some time right now. Ricky Carmichael racing out there like a veteran in the ARCA series. Ray?
Hey, Wendy, Scott Speed has a really good car. That's obvious, and we can see he's running in 3rd position on the racetrack right now. But they do have a small problem. All of the tear-offs have come off of his car, so there's a problem there that his windshield is beginning to get pitted and a little bit marked up. He said it's already hard to see out of. Now, this isn't a really long race, but that could be a problem later in the day here as the sun begins to go down. No tear-offs for Scott Speed. They're a little concerned about that for the end of the race.
I'd have to say he was lucky he wasn't racing 20 years ago, wasn't he, Phil?
Yeah.
When we had one glass windshield, and that's all that you had.
Yeah, and it's amazing how much sandblasted a windshield would get here.
Oh, yeah.
And you get towards the end of the race, and then, you know, the sun starts setting. It was very, very difficult to see out of these things. We're a little bit spoiled now with these tear-offs.
So much nicer now.
Kimball showing us a shot back behind him. He's running 24th, and just behind him is that 24 of Mike Harmon.
Frank Kimball has had a lot of success. A lot of success.
I know what you're trying to say.
I don't have much success saying the word success, but he's had a tremendous amount of success at this racetrack. Really, in the entire ARCA RE/MAX Series, 9-time champion. They were talking this morning that they didn't really feel like the car was very, very fast. I said, well, you've got one of the best drivers, one of the most experienced drivers out here. Frank knows how to make his way to the front. Don't worry about a thing. And Frank's just hanging around right now. You see very, very calm inside the car right there in a good spot. He's going to be just fine.
We're talking different ends of the spectrum there with Frank and then Chrissy Wallace behind him as far as experience. Chrissy's done an excellent job in the races she's been in and, you know, run some truck races and that. But this is the first super speedway race.